one more concept. So this is about the 6th question. Let's go with the 7th one. Okay, let me read the 7th one, what he is asking. Okay. Given an array of length n, at each step it is reduced by element 1. Okay. Each step, what it is saying, each step when you try to repeat, the element has to get decreased. So when you try to repeat the loop or iterate, so you have to decrease the elements. It's like it has to remove 5, 9. That's what he's saying. Okay. In the first step, the maximum element would be removed. When you try to do the first step, the maximum element in the list has to be removed. For example, in this list, we are having 9. 9 has to be removed. While the second step, minimum element of the remaining array will be removed. After performing first step with maximum value, then we have to remove in second step minimum value. In the third step, again we have to remove maximum value. So this step has to continue until the entire list has to remain only one element. Then the final element remaining in the array is 1. Okay. So in short, what he is trying to say, here he has given one array. Okay. So in that, when you start iterating or looping, in the first step, you have to remove the maximum of element 1. In the next step, you have to remove the minimum element. Again, you have to repeat the same thing. Again, next step, you have to remove maximum value, next minimum value. You have to repeat the loop until you will remain with element 1. If you find element 1, you have to get out of the loop and you have to print the element 5. So this is what he is asking in question number 7. So let's start solving. I'm directly taking the values. Yeah. I have run this cell. Let me see. Yeah, we got the array of the elements or list of elements. So what I will do, first I will try to sort the elements. In the previous class, we already used this sort function. Sort function is nothing but arranging the numbers in one particular order, either maybe in ascending order, either it may be in descending order. So I have arranged in the form of ascending order. See here what he's saying, you have to start with first step, first removing maximum, then after minimum, maximum, minimum, and you have to remain with the only one element. So here what he's saying, what I will do, I will write one condition while loop. While. Okay, so maybe you can ask the question, why you are using while loop? There is also for loop. So what is the difference between while and for loop? There is the basic difference. If you know the condition, if you don't know how much extent up to you have to iterate. If you know the condition.
I have one question. What is the difference between while loop and for loop?
Okay, I will tell you. So coming to the while loop you will use when you know the condition. See here, you know the condition. The last element has to be only 1. That means the array of the length is 1, right? So what I can do, based on the condition, I will try to do the remaining steps. If you know the condition, you can go for while loop. For example, only coming to this particular problem only, you asked about the for loop, right? So we use for loop if you know the particular range. For example, if you know the length.
Okay, if I have same question, so I can do with for loop or while loop? I can use both loop, like if I have same question. So I can use for loop also.
Yeah, it is possible. You can use both for loop and while loop. It is possible. But in some cases, it won't work with for loop because because here we are having one specific condition. Okay, but we don't know, like we don't know how much extent we can iterate. See, previously what here we are doing. Uh, one of the questions. Okay, let me show you with one example. Okay, let's take one list. Okay, so in this list, you know that you have to go through each and every element and you have to do the iteration. Are you getting my point? What I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I'm getting.
Okay. So for example, here you know the length. Here you know the length. Okay. As you asked this question, that is it possible to do with for loop as well as a while loop?
Yeah.
Yes, it is possible. Yes, it is
No,
possible in
but just
cases.
I'm asking difference. If I will use, suppose that same, I think this is list you generated.
Oh.
So in same list, if I will use while loop, so what result I will get? Just
You
show
want to
me.
use this list.
Yes, same while. So what result I will get?
See, if you want to print the elements in this list, you can use for loop, right? For example, let me. Okay, wait.
No, just remove 4 and just use while in place of 4.
Yeah, like I am trying to show you. Just give me a minute. So this is the thing we have to do with this list. So we have asked that, can you print this entire elements with the help of while loop? Yes, it is possible. Okay, in case of that, what you have to do, you have to specify the length and where it is starting and where it is ending. So for that, what you have to do, first you have to take the length. First you have to take the length of the list. So here in n, yeah.
I
See,
don't think so. In for loop, you define end of the length.
in for loop,
In for loop, you didn't define end of the length.
I had mentioned.
Okay, you mentioned. Sorry, I forgot. Yeah.
Okay, see, yeah, I have to
Okay,
mention here.
yeah.
See, in for loop, we have to mention that up to what extent or what you are trying to iterate, you have to mention. Because in for loop, you don't know. You just try to iterate over the element. That's it. The function is to iterate and print. So you have definitely have to mention. This is what I'm trying to show the difference. In for loop, you will get to know that up to what range you can iterate. You already know, right? So what is the length here? Length of L. So here length is 6. You already know.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. See, this is the actual basic difference. If you want to do if you want to do some programming based on some particular condition, and so you can go with while loop. That is what I'm trying to show the difference. You have asked one more question that we can do the same question with while loop and for loop. Yeah, it is possible. But what happened in case of for loop and while loop? For loop, try to go with each and every element. Okay. Are you getting my point? For
Yes.
loop goes over each and every element of the list or NA. But based on this condition, if you mention while loop, if that particular condition satisfied, then only it will try to check out that element. Otherwise, it
Okay.
will just come out of the loop.
Could you write in Notepad like about for loop and while loop, like what you are explaining? Just right? Maybe it would be helpful for me when I will read.
Okay. Can you see the notepad?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. Can you use the while loop? If we are aware of the condition, or else what it will try to do, it will try to perform until the condition gets satisfied. Satisfied. So this is what while loop will do. Coming to the for loop. Coming to the for loop. Here we will mention the range. That we already know. It's just that it will try to iterate over the entire array or tuple or set. It might be anything. So this is the basic difference between while loop and for loop.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope you have understood.
Yeah, understood.
So let's complete this question. So what he was asking, we have to start from the first step. We have to start removing the things. In the sense, we have to remove the maximum value. Then after we have to remove the minimum value. Then after maximum, minimum, until unless our list remains with the element only 1. So for that, what I'm doing, I'm taking one condition, length of L greater than 1. This means that if the length is greater than 1, just try to repeat the sentence or statements what I'm trying to write here. The first step is maximum number. I have to pick from the list, right? So maximum number is, so variable maximum number equal to max of L. What it will return, there is one function, inbuilt function maximum of L. So in this variable, it will store 9. From the, like for the first time when you try to execute the code, next step is we have to remove this 9, right? L dot remove. There is one more inbuilt function in array. We can use L dot remove maximum number. This will remove the maximum number. So after that, again, we have to check. See, each and every time we have to check that is our length is less than, is our length is greater than 1 or not. If it is less than 1 or equal to 1, we have to get out of the loop. So for that, what I'm doing, see, for example, after removing each and every steps, you guys are after removing this step, it may be you have removed it all the elements after you got only one element up to this step. There is no need of performing minimum function, right? So for that particular thing, what I am doing, if the length is greater than 1, then after only remove. Otherwise, just come out of that particular loop. What I will do here, minimum number. Okay. There is one more function, minimum of L. It will return the minimum value. So in the second step, what it will return? It will take 2. Okay. Then after, it will try to remove L dot remove minimum number. Okay. So let me try to execute this code. There is something which I have did the mistake. There is some mistake which I have done. So from this particular list, I have to get the 5 right, but I am getting 2. So why it is happening? Let me try to run this again. Check what's the problem is. Okay. Everything is fine. We'll get the maximum number. Check here. Try to remove. Yeah, now it is running fine. So here what he asked, the output has to be 5. So we got the output 5. So did you guys understood the problem here? Or the statements what I have written inside this for loop? While loop. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. You have understood? Okay. I hope you guys don't have any questions or problem. Let's start with the third. That is nothing but 8th question. Okay. Before going to next question. So as I have started Python series, right? So why I started the Python series? So we are working on Python, and in future we're going to start learning pandas, numpy, matplotlib, cpon, right? So like today I have bring up with one small example in pandas. So this is going to be somewhat change for you. Like rather than doing all the Python questions at a time, we can do some other questions as well. Okay. So you guys can ask me, what is pandas? Right? See, pandas is nothing but pandas is a kind of library or a package of Python. It is a kind of inbuilt packages of Python. With the help of this pandas library, we try to clean the data, manipulate the data, analyze the data. We can do so many multiple operations with the help of the pandas. I will show you what it is actually means. See, pandas is a Python library. Pandas is used to analyze the data. In future, you guys going to learn about pandas, numpy, matplotlib, cpon in order to analyze the data, clean the data, manipulate the data. So Python is a kind of very important library, plays a very important role in cleaning part. So I just want to introduce you like a little bit. We can go in detail in further. Well, this is about the pandas. So I will use a small example. This is a very important example, you can say. When you try to clean the data, in future, you will definitely get to know about this kind of problem where you can use this kind of coding and you can clean the data very easily. So before that, what I will do. So in Python, if you want to import pandas, you have to use import pandas as PD. Before, if you guys don't have installed pandas, what you have to do, in order to install pandas library, you have to write pip install pandas. If I run this cell, so if you guys can see, requirement already satisfied. So I already installed pandas, so it is showing that requirement already be satisfied. So this is the pandas version 2.8.1. So you can install like this. Then after, you have to use this pandas library, right? So in order to use this one, you have to write like this one, import pandas. As PD is nothing but this is a kind of alias name you are trying to give to pandas. If you don't even give this name, it will work. But in order to use, like short names, we can use short names or alias name. It will be very easy for us in order to write the code, right? Every time we can't write pandas dot data frame. It is very difficult. So that's why I'm giving as PD. Then I will write this cell. So it has been imported. Now we can use PD pandas. So then after, what I can do, I am trying to create a data frame. So data frame is nothing but, you can ask me what is meant by data frame. See, data frame is nothing but, in data frame, the structure of data frame is like rows and columns in the form of table. If you guys are familiar with SQL, in SQL, the structure of the data is in the form of rows and columns, right? So it is also here the same. We are having columns, we are having rows here. So this is meant by data frame. So for that, I have to get the data frame, right? What I'm doing, I'm trying to create my own data frame. So for that, what I can do, there is a syntax for this data frame. You have to write pandas dot, which is nothing but alias name, pd dot data frame. You have to give the structure like this. So see, if you guys can observe, this is in the form of dictionary. If you guys do remember, we are having data structures, right? Dictionary, set, tuple, list. These are the data structures. So this is nothing but column name, and these are the values. These are the values or record. This is the column name, and these are the records of this particular data frame. If I try to run this cell, see, I got the data frame. If you guys can see, this is the column name, these are the records, and in data frame, in pandas, all the records stores in the form of index. It will defaultly generate the index positions. You can see, as you guys can like remember, the list starts from position 0, right? So here it is also starts from 0, 1, 2, 3. These are the index positions. See, here I have one question, is that I have values of S, no, and neutral. See, these are the customers who had satisfied, right? This customer has been satisfied, this customer has not been satisfied. And there is one more, what we can say, category called neutral. See, my requirement, I have a requirement that I have to remove all these neutral records. I have to remove all these neutral records, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I don't want these neutral records. So for that, what I will do, first of all, I will check. See, with the help of the value counts, okay, there is one function, value counts. What it will return, what it will return all the categories and their counts. That means neutral has been repeated 3 times, S has been repeated 2 times. So no 2 times, just return the counts. And after, so the next step is what my requirement is. I have to remove the neutral records. I have to remove 4, 5, 6. In order to do this thing, I will use filter. With the help of the filtering, I will get the neutral records. So in order to get the neutral records, this is kind of one syntax we have to write. If you write df of that particular column name, df column name, this is a kind of operator we are using equivalent operator. Equal to neutral. If it is true, then we will return all the records. If I return, see, I'm getting only neutral records. So what is next step? I have to remove all these records, right? So in order to remove all these records, we have to remove the index positions, right? In position 4, 5, 6. So we have to remove based on the index positions. So for that, guys can write dot index. I will get the index position C, 4, 5, 6. I'm getting this one, right? What I'm trying to do, I will try to store this in the form of one array. You guys can observe, we are getting some in 64 index 4, 5, 6. But I don't want all these things. This is in the form of index type. Okay, kind of integer. If I see this, I see this type. See, is in the form of pandas dot 4 dot indices numeric int. If I try to do based on this one, it won't work. Either I have to have some list, tuple, set, or I want the data in form of this one. With the help of this one, I can remove, I can replace whatever I can perform, I can do. So I have to deal with this thing, what I can do. So what I can do, directly there is one more inbuilt function in pandas. So what you can do, directly you can do dot. If you try to put like, if you try to like to, see here we are getting some default functions. To flat index, to frame, to list, to numpy, to series. So I want to make this into list. See, I got in the form of list, right? If you try to see the type, see, it's in the form of list. So next, what I will do, I will store this thing into one variable, okay? Now we got 4, 5, 6. The last step is I want to remove this particular index positions. That is nothing but neutral. There is one more function called drop. Okay. If you try to write this like df dot drop. So if you want to see the documentation, just try to click Shift tab and click plus. So here what he is saying, we can have a look over this. Labels, axis, index, columns. We don't need all these things. We just need labels. Labels are nothing but columns or the indexes which we want to remove. Axis means index equal to 0. See here in data frame, axis 0 is nothing but rows. Okay. If you mention axis equal to 1, that is columns. If you want to remove data record wise, you have to mention axis equal to 0. If you want to remove data column wise, you have to mention axis equal to 1. And after, there is one more important thing here, in place equal to false. Okay. So what it will do? If you put in place is equal to false, if you try to run this cell, you have did the changes. Okay. But if you want to save the changes, what you have did. So for that, you have to put it as true. you put it as true. Okay, I will try to show the difference so you guys can understand. Okay, I'm trying to drop. Okay, so what I have said here, I have to mention the labels or columns, whatever you want to drop. I got 4, 5, 6, right? So I have mentioned here. So I want to drop row wise. Row wise operation has to happen. So I have mentioned axis equal to 0. So I have put in place equal to false. This is the default one. Even if you don't put this one, doesn't matter. So, okay, it has been run. Okay. Next, I want to check in the particular column, this neutral has been removed or not. Guys can see it has been removed here, but if you try to execute again, it is showing here. So the difference is, I already told you, if you want to store these changes, how to put replace equal to true. In place. Okay. Okay. Now if I run, see, the neutral equal has been removed. Our requirement has been satisfied. This is very, very important when you try to deal with some kind of missing data, or if you want to clean the data. So at that time, we go with like dropping, removing the columns. So this is very important kind of small example. I have shown you with a small example. So I hope you guys have understood this pandas example. Okay.